Welcome to another episode of Design on Purpose. I'm here today with Tristan Social.
Hey.
How do you like to describe yourself, Tristan? It's the on your hand on your Instagram. It's got the world's #1 dating coach.
Yeah, I think we're changing that pretty soon.
Yeah,
I'm really good at cold approach pickup, but
yeah,
dating is such like a broad broad spectrum. You got like relationships, you have
oh
marriage, you
yeah.
have like the dating is such a big
So
niche.
you've got like a niche or a niche in like yeah, cold approach dating or like
Oh yeah.
fresh new start kind of. Okay.
Yeah, like first interactions.
Yeah. Okay.
During the daytime specifically. So
Okay.
like there's a lot of people that are really good at texting or club game, but when it comes to talking to people during the daytime,
Okay.
that's my
What
bread and butter.
What's the difference between the daytime and the nighttime?
Oh, there's a lot of differences. Club game, it's loud, it's a lot more physical. There's a lot more alcohol involved. You have to be
Yeah.
more grabby, less wordy.
Mm.
Whereas during the daytime, it's a little bit more like a whimsical dance, like a lot of banter, a lot of fun back
Yeah.
and forth. Yeah,
I've never really thought about that, to be honest.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, it's a very interesting career that you've got yourself
sure.
into. And I mean, I'm really fascinated by, and I mentioned to you this as I was setting this up, but I'm really fascinated by people who have, kind of really got to understand their purpose, and
hmm
then, they've created this kind of career or this lifestyle around that. Something that you just wouldn't have even ever have thought of. It's not like dating coach, cold approach dating coach is not something that would have been on the careers board at your high school or something.
Right. Content creators definitely not on there either.
Yeah, yeah. So how did you discover that that was something that you were going
Y-
to get into? Is it happen
Yeah.
organically or?
It's super organic, yeah. I started skateboarding in middle school because I wanted to get girls. I didn't get girls until high school or even past high school when I really started getting girls. But what happened for me was I started knocking doors selling solar panels, so I got good at going from door to door and like talking to people and having really fast conversations.
Mm,
So I had tried to do the dating coach thing maybe like in like two different times. Once in 2019 going into 2020 because I was in a mastermind and there was another dating coach there. But I didn't like I saw his systems and his science and I was like, oh, I don't have that. I'm just like a happy guy. I just go talk to people. And then I tried again in 2022, but then I was like, I'm not really into it. But then what happened, um, January 1st, 2024, just a week prior, I saw this guy online. His name is It's Polo Kid, and he was going up and talking to girls, and like he's gotten a lot better from the point that I saw him. But I saw his content. I was like, dude, if this guy is like just going up and making content about talking to girls, there's no way that I'm not doing it. So I saw him. I bought the glasses. Like I went all over Cancun, Mexico, looking for the glasses. Had to order them from a homie who's coming to Playa del Carmen where I was staying. And then January 1st, I uploaded my first video and it was a banger. It was a hit. And then from that point, that whole year, we just banged out content.
wow. What year was that?
This is 2024. This is last year.
Oh, so this was only been a year since you've been doing
This is a
this.
baby. Yeah, this Instagram account is a small child.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's insane. So what, you just posted that first video and it blew up straight away?
Yeah. So I had done street interviews before, and that got me to about 40,000 followers, like a little base of people that
Like
like.
vox pop, like microphone kind of thing, or like with the glasses?
No, we're not with the glasses. Like
Yeah.
walk up to people and be like, "Hey, what's your take on
Oh,
this
yeah, yeah,
or your take
okay.
on that?" But when I started doing the glasses videos, the first video that I posted probably got like maybe 3 million, 4 million views. Like
Wow.
I talked to this girl in a grocery store. She had no idea I was talking to her. I didn't tell her that I uploaded it. And it just went crazy. I didn't even pick her up. I didn't even get her phone number or anything. I just had a cool conversation with her. And then from that point, it's like, all right, we're going.
Wow. That yeah, I wondered about that too. Like, you probably get asked this a lot, like about the glasses thing and
Yeah.
like what's the legality of that and like how does that all work? And is
Yeah.
there stuff that happens behind the scenes like after like how is that?
Yeah, I mean every content creator inside of this niche is gonna go through their own karmic loop, I guess you could call it. Like when I
Yeah.
first started, I just put a little piece of tape over the LED light, did the glasses, uploaded it, and just kept going. And then, somebody had a boyfriend, or, like, oh, I don't want to be on the internet. Like, oh, my work doesn't know that I'm in Mexico right now. Like a whole bunch of things
Yeah.
started coming up. So then I started asking for people's permission afterwards. But I can't say that I asked for permission every single time.
Yeah.
Like 75% of the time I do. And
Yeah,
then,
that's gonna open up a whole new thing, that whole
oh, yeah.
meta eyewear thing, isn't it? I
Mhm.
guess it probably would have been the same for like security cameras and stuff like that when they first came out. But yeah, interesting challenge to have to solve. So when you first started realizing that this was a thing, like what was your process after that? Like when did you after you had success with your first video,
Mhm.
when did you realize, okay, we've got something here? And like, what were the next steps after that? Was it full content creation?
Yeah.
You were doing that full time?
Yeah, so, I had tried a whole bunch of different things. I tried to do, like I said, dating coaching. I did OnlyFans in the past.
Oh
I
yeah, I want to talk to you about
Oh,
that.
yeah, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. I did, like, credit repair for people, like, little things here and there, like but one 2 of my friends, Omir and Icon out in Medellin, Colombia, they're like, "Tristan, there are 100 different credit guys, but there's only one Tristan. Like, you're so good at talking to people, just make your content that." And I was like, "All right." So when I knew it was going to be popular, I knew it was going to be successful because the guy that I talked about, he had 400,000 followers on Instagram. And I looked at his content, I'm like, "Dude, he's just brave. He's really courageous, really confident, but the way that he talks to people is just not on the level that I know that I am."
Yeah.
So I didn't even need that video to go viral, but it was like a good, like, immediate feedback. Like, okay, this is something that I can do. But the reason why I went viral in the way that I did and did so well was because of my door knocking background. And like people were like, "Oh, you blew up overnight." It's like, no, I knocked thousands of doors to get the skills to talk to people, went on hundreds of dates, and failed so many times that when I finally got the glasses, it was just me capturing my life from my point of view. And then like people just like, "Oh shit." But it was a refined thing over years and years and years of trial and failure and different things.
Yeah. I mean, you often don't hear about that, right? You know, you hear about this overnight success,
Hmm.
but you don't see all the little tweaks that you're making and the skills that you're picking up along the way,
Oh yeah.
and how you're developing as a person as you do those things. So, and I mean, sales is great for that, isn't it?
Oh, I mean, when I go and talk to a girl, it's all sales. Like everything in life is sales. Like you reached out to do a podcast, you sold me on doing a podcast. Like even on a more simpler note, when you're driving your car and you put your blinker on to go left, you have to sell the person behind you to let you in so you can turn left. Like that's a mini sale.
Yeah.
So like, oh, I'm telling this girl I'm gonna go on a date with her. I'm selling her on the date. Everything is sales, and just because there's not a monetary transaction between people, those skill sets and that
Yeah.
negotiation skill is so important to have.
Yeah. Like how much of it do you think is strategic, and how much of it is just like pure communication?
I kind of relate back to like chess in this. Like
Yeah,
chess
yeah.
is pretty like really heavy in tactics, where it's like this move, this move, this move. It's like this position is on the board, and then strategy is a lot less. Like strategy when it comes to chess is control the center of the board, develop your pieces, and then when it comes to tactics, it's like okay, these places are placed here. You know, you can get away with doing this because to simplify it, it's like the king can't move from this position X, Y,
Mhm.
and Z.
Mhm.
When it comes to like cold approach and pickup, I say it's a lot situational. It's like what's happening in the situation, but you also have those canned lines, those things that you can always fall back on that will open up conversations with a really high percentage. But I like calling it pickup artistry instead of
Yeah.
science because I can give you the lines to say or give Artie the lines to say, our filmer over there, Artie.
Yeah.
I can give you the words to say, but if you don't do it with the right art or the right finesse, they're gonna not even go a tenth of the way because the necessary production and the performance behind it is not going to be
Yeah.
met.
Well, there's probably stuff that you can get away with saying that like people can't, you know?
Yeah, I
Like
say
I've
some
heard
crazy
some of the
stuff.
stuff you say. I'm like, it's so good, and obviously it worked, but like you put that coming out of someone else's mouth and it's just not going to come out the same way.
I feel that way about my buddy Diego Day.
Yeah.
My game, and, like how I go about talking to girls, it's very fun, very happy, very like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, like, and then it just translates into me getting their phone number. He's like what I call cold game, where it's like, dang, he is smooth. Like the way that he
Like
puts it,
tell me about him. Like what's he get up to,
he
this guy?
he he's a really good looking guy. He's got really green eyes.
Yeah.
So he kind of looks like Tarzan with long hair. So
Okay.
he'll walk up to a girl and be like, "Oh my goodness, our children would have the most beautiful eyes." And like the way that he like locks eye contact with the way that he says
Oh
it,
wow.
and I'm like, I'm not pulling that one off. But he like I'll say something funny and like sexual and like smile about it, but he doesn't even drop a smile. Like he's just like super seductive when it comes
Wow.
to it. So his game is, I wouldn't say completely different than mine. We both have fun when we go out and talk to girls, but it's definitely different.
Is he in the same field as you?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
you guys. So this is like a thing. There's like a
yeah,
pack of you guys.
yeah. He was the original Riz God. Diego was the original Riz God. I met him in Mexico in 2022. He was filming street interviews for a YouTube video, and we just
Okay.
hit it off immediately from that point. And he sat me down one day. He's like, Tristan, you need to get in front of the camera. Like, we did a YouTube video together, and he was like, Tristan, you made the video better with your presence in it. Like, you need to get in front of the camera doing something,
Yeah,
please,
yeah.
please. But yeah, he was a big inspirational part for me to get where I am now.
Okay. Is
Hmm
he here with you in Bali?
he was here maybe 2 weeks ago, but he just
Okay.
left. He's making a plan to come back and like maybe do like a
Okay.
little content house. And
Yeah.
he's a really hard worker, really cool guy,
Yeah,
really
that's
cool
cool.
guy.
It's good to have friends like that, driven and kind
Oh
of
yeah.
making stuff creative. And yeah, no, I love that. Um, so then, because you were in Mexico,
hmm
and now you're here, you're now based in Canggu.
Yeah, this is home now. Yeah.
Okay, okay, cool. You
Mhm.
liking being back here?
Yeah, Bali's cool. Bali has a lot of like simple luxuries. Like you get a massage for $10. Versus in Mexico, that same massage is like $60. It's like,
Oh well.
yeah. Food is cheaper here, general transportation. Uh yeah, it's like some things are way cheaper, some things are more expensive.
Yeah.
I like the society out here.
Mm-hmm.
Like nobody really just happens to stumble into Bali or Canggu. It's like if you're from the States, that's a two
Yeah.
day plane ride. If you're nobody's just like, oh yeah, I'm going to Bali for a weekend. So the people that you meet here come with a lot of intention, and you meet cool people because of that.
Yeah,
So,
no, it's true. There's a lot of creators here. It's super inspiring.
mhm.
Like I actually people complain about the rain here, but I really like it because it helps me stay focused.
Sure.
So I'm enjoying it. Probably not good for your beach day
Yeah, yeah,
pickups. Well,
right.
unless you took an umbrella or something. But yeah, so just back on this little story about about your sales and
Uh-huh.
going through and learning your skills and
Yeah.
putting your video up. Um like just can we talk more about like the backstory of like before you put that dating video up, the one with the Ray-Bans and it blew
Yeah.
up. You said you were doing these like vox pops. Were there any dating things in there at all?
Yeah, I had done a couple of like approach videos, like the
Yeah.
ones that I do, but from a third person
Yeah.
angle. But I didn't like them because I had to coordinate with another person to go outside
Oh,
and
because I was thinking about that too, because I wanted
yeah,
to do some vox pop stuff. Then I'm like, you got to go out, you got to get someone to hold the camera.
it's annoying. It's
And
an
that's
annoying
why the
process.
glasses are good because you can just pop them on and just do the vox pop and you're in. It's a POV. What do they call it? Point of view.
Yeah, point of view. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. With the glasses, it's like my editing time is like 7 minutes. Like, and the reason I got so successful so quick on social media, Instagram specifically, is because I was able to do 3 videos a day, 4 videos a day. I'd
So
go out, get 4 phone numbers, go back, edit. Like my editing time for all 4 videos would be less than half an hour. Because it's me just putting subtitles and like doing clip, 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 clip. Because when I originally had the glasses, there's a one minute time frame.
mm,
And like I'll be talking to a girl and be like pretending to like fix my glasses and like re-record and have to like look inside it because I covered the tape and there's no like notification noise on the first editions. So I'm like looking on the inside of the glasses where the LED light is and
okay.
like having a mental timer of a minute. But I love the glasses because it's a one-man production team. Like me and CapCut.
Oh yeah. You. Oh, what are you gonna do? Is CapCut still going? Oh, it is here in Bali.
Yeah, it's here, but I use his account.
Okay. Right.
But yeah,
Okay.
me and CapCut, we just slap
Okay.
auto
So
captions.
you do all your own editing and everything.
Well, for the third person point of view and like the YouTube videos, I now have already.
Okay.
But from my first person point of view, I still keep that. It's just so much easier because I
Yeah.
remember the conversation. I don't have to do any specific edits. People reach out to me all the time, like, "Oh, we can edit your videos better for you," and I'm like, I don't want them edited.
Yeah, I feel like that a bit with the podcast at the moment, to be honest. Like you
Mhm.
kind of get in a good creative flow, your head's in it, like
Yeah.
it's part of the craft.
You
So
remember the conversation. You
yeah,
remember like the sticking point. Like, oh, this is gonna make a good clip. And
yeah,
somebody's not gonna be able to recreate that.
yeah. So how much do you think like your account blown up? It's what now like at a million
A
followers? Yeah,
million,
yeah.
like 20,000. I've been losing followers actually this last month for whatever reason, but
Okay, you don't have
it's I
any.
think it's just saturation of the market. Like
Okay.
like there's 80 content creators doing the same content now. So
Cause they say that like the algorithms changed recently, so like someone with no followers at all could put a post out and it can blow up.
yeah. So what I watch with my account is like the same videos that would have gotten a million views easy when I started, like easy banger videos are now getting like 200,000, 300,000. It's a combination of like they want to inspire more like
Newer creators?
newer creators to come into the space, and it's also a combination of like I have a massive ship. So like when I post now, I'm at a threat of losing followers because like say I lose 0.5% of my following because the video isn't a super banger. That's 5,000 people on 0.5%.
Is that a thing?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like if I don't post banger videos, like my account will decrease in size because I'm such a big ship.
Oh, wow. So, like, how do you're probably getting pretty good at that now, knowing like what's a banger and what's not.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. And I have to be really selective. Like when people are just starting out, it's kind of like you're a white belt. Like you can kind of just throw whatever and nobody's gonna look at you like, oh. But now there's like a expectation of standard for my content for my videos. So if I post a video and only gets like 150,000, maybe
What what's the average like?
right now it's about average maybe 200,000 views between the low and the high end. And like I look at other content creators and I get like maybe a little bit jealous, like, oh, they're on a really good kick right now, or like this and that. But I've kept longevity. I've kept over this last year been like in the public eye for the entire time that I've been here. And like maybe I'll take a few days off, but it's never long stretches of time where I'm not uploading content. And my brand is pretty strong. Like I get recognized here, I get recognized in Mexico, I get recognized in the United
Yeah, I was
States.
thinking about that as well. I'm like, how do you like at some point people are gonna be sitting there like see you coming,
Yeah, yeah,
like, oh,
yeah.
here he comes.
It happened at breakfast this morning, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I walked in and like this guy looks at me. He's like, "Hey, I watch your videos,
Yeah,
bro." And
yeah.
I'm like, "Thank you for the
But I
support."
mean, like women, or do are your followers dudes
It's
or are they
96% men.
okay?
So I got
That's
recognized,
so interesting as well for like
right?
okay, so you got 96%. So do you get like little like, what's up? Like people
Oh
walking at
yeah,
you in
for
the street,
sure.
like,
I've had this one dude in Miami like cock blocked me hard.
no way.
Yeah, so I'm walking
Did he
with.
know what he was dealing
Yeah, he
with?
knew exactly what he was doing. Fuck that guy. Hey, I remember you from fucking Miami. So I'm walking down the street with a French girl. She's from Reunion Island, and I'm walking with. She's a little bit older. Really cute girl, sexy girl. And we're walking down the street holding hands, and this guy yells out, "Hey Tristan, another one?" And I'm like, dude, why the fuck would you do that? Why,
Oh,
bro? And then just killed the vibe for her. She's like, no, I don't want to go back to your house. I don't want to be another one of these girls that you pick up. And I'm like, dude, that fucking
that
fuck
wasn't
that
on the game
guy.
plan.
No, no, you can't. And you can't even prepare for events like that. What am I supposed to do? Not walk outside with a cute girl because I'm afraid some random dickhead is gonna scream some stupid shit? Yeah, fuck
Oh,
that.
that sucks.
Fuck that guy from Miami. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so you've got like you've now got an understanding of the patterns. You kind
Mhm.
of know what's good. And now you're facing some different challenge. I mean, that's a
Sure.
cra I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
Um, how do you work with that now? Like with your content, like where are you taking it?
I mean, well, I'm putting myself more in the videos, like with a third person point of views and like doing talking videos. Cause for a big portion, maybe in like 30-40% of my run that I was gaining thousands of followers every single day, nobody knew my face looked like. Like you would have to go purposely
Oh,
to
that's
my
true, right?
profile
Yeah.
to see what my face looked like, or like look at the little profile photo in the little corner on the reels to see what I looked like. But for a large portion of it, and I struggled to get brand deals for a while because it's like, yeah, your content's super engaging, but who's Tristan? Like,
Yeah. Okay.
you
Like it's a
see?
personal branding thing.
So that's
Okay.
one of the struggles that I went through. Dude, I have 500,000 people, but I can't get a brand deal to save my life because it's like, well, who is this person? What is this person? Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So
Do you feel like you've since doing this, like, I mean, from my experience, like just having discipline around the podcast and making
right,
content, like I feel like it's really changing me as a person, like having to solve problems and, you know, learn to speak to people like this. I mean, obviously I've got a little bit of a background with it with design and doing client work and things, but I feel like the actual making of the stuff changes you, right?
sure.
So like how different are you? Like who's 2020 we're now in 2025. 2025 Tristan compared to 2024 Tristan when you just started this? Like what's the evolution been there?
I mean, the evolution is like when I put out pieces of content, there's weight to it now. Whereas beforehand, I could put out something and it's like, I got fuck it, it's whatever. But now I have a lot of guys looking at me and like they look to me for examples when it comes to talking to people. Like I'm some people's figureheads when it comes to like a social lifestyle. And it feels good to have that way. I signed up for it. Like literally I put my name on the dotted line for like I'm gonna be an example for
Yeah.
other people. Because for me it's second nature to go talk to people. It's like, oh, I crafted this skill, not directly trying to craft the skill, but through this experience became really good at it. But some people look at me and they think I would never talk to a stranger on the street. Like their worldview, their perspective is I would never talk to it. Like, so they live vicariously through me, and I have to be like more conscientious of what I post, what I say.
Yeah.
Like I'll post a picture of me and a beautiful girl, and like it's not rare for me to lose 2,000 followers in a day because they didn't like the girl, or it was too sexual or not sexual enough. And it's like
So fickle.
it's so funny. I'm watching my followers drop and I'm like, fuck you guys. Like, this is good content. I know good content. I know bangers. I'm
Yeah,
giving you
yeah.
guys good content. And it's like, oh, you just been so spoiled with like the Instagram algorithm. It's like, oh, Tristan fell off, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, but Tristan changed a lot, because social media is a consistency game. It's not you against the algorithm, it's you and the algorithm against yourself. It's like how often and how consistent can you show up? Because people want to say, "Oh, I just want to make content. I want to make content." It's like, okay, how many videos a day are you posting? Maybe 2 a week. 2 a week? You're not gonna grow a social media channel with 2 a week when the big boys like I watch these Twitch streamers, they have an 8 hour stream that the highlights of that stream, maybe like 20-minute clips, are all posted on it on YouTube the next 2 days, 3 days, and then
Mm.
reels from those clips are all posted. So they're pumping out maybe 5 to 7 quality pieces of long form content daily.
Wow.
And you're telling me like that, and that's the competition. That's the competition that I look at. That's the competition that is out there. Like Mr. Beast, these streamers, Kai Cenat, these people that are at the top of the mountain place. It's like you're fighting for the same attention that they're fighting for. And if you think that, you can show up and post twice a week.
I'm sure some of those Twitch guys could use your help.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. You'd be surprised if, like there's really cool people that follow me. NBA basketball players, NFL players, people all over the world that like have successful businesses, and it's like, and they look to me for social skills, and it's like, oh cool. I look to you for entertaining basketball or entertaining football, but like when I go through my follower list, it's like, oh, he follows me. Oh, he follows me. That's
Wow, what a
cool. Yeah.
trip.
Right.
That's wild.
hmm
Um, so like we're talking about like short, a lot of short form stuff. You touch on YouTube there. And I know this is kind of taking
Yeah.
this on
Yeah.
a social media kind of angle, content creation, but it's just so interesting that someone's been able to grow an account that size in
hmm
1 year. Like, I mean, what's the possibility of that? Like for anyone with a niche, I know you have obviously have a special ability, but
Right.
you've tapped into like you've hit a sweet spot there where your skills, what you love doing,
hmm
and then your determination and your consistency has kind of like you've hit the money there.
It's a combination of consistency, and I think more than anything it was timing. Like, so what a lot of people don't know is back in like 2016 with the Me Too movement, there was already a kind of thriving environment of pickup artists. But when the Me Too movement hit, they had their whole social media accounts wiped off the internet. Like, oh, you were going outside filming people without their consent, even if they blurred their faces doing like cold approach videos, canceled, done. Even the videos were unlisted or
Oh,
anything.
wow.
Like people got their whole social medias erased back in 2016. So, and then on top of that, I talked about this in another podcast, but there was one of the leaders of RSD. He got interviewed.
What's that?
Real Social Dynamics. Like
Okay.
they were like
Oh.
the spearheads of the pickup movement, like in the internet age. And these guys, yeah, these guys are legends in the pickup space. But what had happened was one of their leaders, one of like the heads of the group, got interviewed on CNN, and they just tore this guy a new asshole. They
Made
ripped
an
it,
example of him.
made him an example of him. They ripped him to shreds, and his PR was not good. They're like, this guy is a manipulator. He, coerces women against their will using mind tricks and hypnosis to make them go back to their house with him. And they just ripped him a new asshole. So pickup was on like a low trend, like underground record style, until about 2018, when this guy named Gerald Huston he started like, I don't know how, this is before the Ray-Ban glasses, but this guy was like, he had some spy glasses or something where he was going up and just talking to cute girls, and his social media popped off. And then two other guys, Eric Ronaldo and It's Polo Kid, they started doing content really consistently with picking up girls. And then when I came in, then the floodgates opened. Like I opened up to a brand new wave of guys thinking like, oh, I can do this too. I can do this too. And then that was 2024. And like, you know, by the end of 2024, where there was like 4 or 5 people that were super consistent, me, Diego, Eric Ronaldo, Jared Huston, and It's Polo Kid. You can't scroll down Instagram on my, like what my algorithm is trained on. You can't scroll down without every other third video being a new guy in a mall somewhere saying, oh, where'd you get that? Get what? That beautiful smile. Like that's the same line
Classic.
over. Yeah. Oh yeah, you really rizzed her with that one, buddy. You know, the same line that you saw fucking 300 times on Instagram. So yeah,
I'd love to see you doing some long form stuff.
Yeah, this is our introduction into.
This is the start.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. What kind of stuff do you think you'll be throwing up there?
I talk about a lot of stuff just in general. Like,
you're already doing long form?
Here and there.
A little bit.
Yeah, like one thing that 17-year-old me would be super proud of is like, first I made it into a public sphere. Like I hit 1 million followers. Awesome. But what he really wanted, 17-year-old Tristan, was to be a YouTuber. He really, really, really wanted to be a YouTuber. Instagram is close, but it's not the same as being a YouTuber. And I recently got my first $100 check from YouTube. Like
is that AdSense check?
That's AdSense
no
check.
Way.
Yeah, I got my first one. Yeah, that's huge. That's
it is. I mean, for me right now, I'm trying to just get the little blue bars to move that tell you, you know, you get your subscribers and your watch hours and things like that. So it's, you know, it's a milestone.
Yeah. I'm stoked on it. We got about maybe 7,000 some odd number on YouTube. It's when you have such a big ship like this, like I can get 100,000 views on a story post and say just a fraction of a percentage go over to my YouTube and subscribe. So I post a video up.
Yeah.
Again, maybe like 50, 100 subscribers on YouTube. That's a big, for a small channel, that's a big jump. Those are big numbers to see jump over. And I'm excited to throw you some traction too on your.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
I'll get some dudes following me.
Yeah. Hey, no, numbers are numbers.
No,
numbers.
I'm joking. It's great. It's great. No, that's exciting. What a cool journey you're on, you know, and like being in a new environment in Bali and you know, working with Artie over here. And
yeah, he's been monumental. He's been really good in helping me.
The amount of time that it takes and everything. The content and even, you know, Artie's help setting up little cameras, showing you the ISOs and things, so many things to learn always. So okay, we've touched on the short film, the following, some of your followers. What are some of these things that people ask you about, like, you know, from your followers? Like,
do you want to see? I just posted like, hey, ask me dating questions. Sure. So so I literally just posted this an hour ago. It's crazy, man. In 1 hour,
you get like, if you had notifications on your phone, would
forget it. My phone would be stupid. I posted this post. Hey, ask me.
Show the camera there.
Yeah, here. I posted this post an hour ago. I'll send you a screenshot anyway. Yeah. And in 1 hour, it got 25,000 views on a story post. And let's see how many responses. Whoa. So you could see.
So the questions, like, so what was your question? It was like,
I said, ask me dating questions.
Okay, cool.
Dating questions.
Yeah.
And
so what are you getting? You should give us some.
Let's see how many responses. I think like 130 questions came in an hour. So
wow.
Yeah.
And what do you do? So you take those, like, obviously you can't get all of them.
Oh no, I didn't even try.
But that's great, isn't it, for making long form content?
Yeah, it's like tips on detecting obvious green and red flags. How can you keep a conversation ongoing if you run out of things to talk about? How many, like a lot of them are just like, what's your body count or something like stupid like that. What is most important on a date? Are you feeling that you deserve this? I'm virgin, she's not.
Oh, that's I'm gathering that's a chick. Is it or not?
What?
Or that comment. What was that one?
Which one?
I'm virgin. I'm
virgin. Oh, he's asking like, hey, this girl I'm dating I want to date is a virgin.
Okay.
It's a lot of Indian dudes. Like, there's a lot of Indian dudes because there's a billion Indian people. I think my audience is maybe like 10% Indian, which in relativity to people in my schema, it's low.
Yeah.
How to date a coworker. How long should guys last in bed? when you come to India, just curious your body count. Up for a podcast? Yeah, you can take a look at some of these. You can scroll
It's
through.
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like you're just getting berated with
Oh
questions.
yeah.
So you're never really short of ideas, are you? Once
No.
you get to this point,
Yeah, it's like
there's
it's
just
a never
constant,
ending.
constant. Wow. Okay, I mean, I could that just thing just
It
keeps on going.
ju-
That's wild.
uh-huh.
But like, can I ask you a personal thing,
Yeah,
Tristan?
absolutely.
Like, just with this career, like, like your personal life, like in terms of, relationships and things like that. Like, how how does this, like, this must impact that in a way,
Sure. Yeah.
like how do you deal with that, and like what's that like for you?
I like it. Like this is like I said, I signed up for this. I knew what I was getting
Yeah,
myself into when I started creating content. You don't understand the depth of it really,
yeah,
but on a platonic side, when I send a DM to a guy, it's a high percentage that is going to get responded to. Like just because like they see me, they see my brand, they see that I'm around beautiful girls, so I can network really easily. Like especially through Instagram when it
Y-
comes to when it
yeah,
comes.
yeah, but I think I mean more like what I'm referring to more is like relationship, like with a partner or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, so it's
Like that's got to have its challenges.
it's good and bad. I'd say it's more on the good side because I kind of get a pass to do whatever I want. Because like if a girl looks at my Instagram and she sees what I do for work and then she still decides to hang out with me afterwards, she still decides to be in my like my aura,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
sphere, then that's somebody that, understands first and foremost, like
yeah.
there's gonna be other girls that I talk to just on a business sense. Second, she has to be really secure with herself to accept attention and love from me. I mean, there's one girl that I'm talking to now, and like she'll get jealous when I wave at another girl. And it's like, you really,
She will.
yeah, it's like
That's
you
gonna be dangerous.
can't get mad at me for being myself. Like this is just me being me. If and she wants me all to herself, and I'm like, I understand it's not gonna happen, but I totally understand. But what happens a lot of times is like sometimes guys will be like, oh yeah, girls see that million followers and they probably just follow over you. Yeah, they see the million followers and they see that I talked to a
Um,
thousand women on the internet, like me just posting videos of me being good at what it is that I do. So what happens is like I'm not perfect by any means, and I think girls really overestimate my skills as a dater. Like they're like, "Oh, you're so manipulative," or like you said that on purpose, or like, you knew what it is that you were doing when you texted me that, and I'm like, bitch, I didn't. I really like you're giving me way too much credit. Like sometimes I just make a stupid mistake and it's like
mm-mm.
it's not intentional whatsoever. I don't even realize a lot of times what it is that I'm saying and like, oh, that could be taken as hurtful but it like the guard is way higher for girls that I date. And it's it's closed doors for sure when it comes to dating. It's like I just do not want to be associated with that, like with like dating a guy like that. And it's like, hey, that's
Yeah.
by all means. That's
Yeah, I guess you gotta be super I mean, well, it's hard not to be clear up front, right? Because
oh,
it's very
there's
yeah,
no
yeah,
hidden
yeah.
agenda there. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah. Yeah, because I did wonder about that. Because like, you're obviously, like, I'm watching you too, like, I can see, like, you're scanning all the time, you're very observant.
sure,
Like, I
sure.
move my hand somewhere, your eyes are there, you're picking up signals. Like, what about your family? Do they have these abilities? Because there's something there that's not a learnt thing. Like you've got some
Yeah,
ability, pattern recognition, or
that's to speak on.
intuition or something. I don't know.
So it's a combination. My mom was a super social person. Like I picked up a lot of my social skills and especially my laugh from her. She was really good at disarming people
Yeah.
as like a tall Jamaican black woman. But for me, like we said, pattern recognition. I picked up so much pattern recognition from knocking on doors
Yeah.
that I learned micro expressions, just what people call energy. It's like maybe a flick of an eye
Yeah, I've
or
been watching you the whole time. You're like like watching everything I'm doing.
well, I think that's one thing that I might be the best in the world at. It's like acknowledging people's existence because I love receiving good energy. I love receiving good attention, so I'm always giving it. It's like it's a selfish thing. It's like hey hey hey, I like receiving that back, so I give it first.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very attentive to like body language, and this I mean that's a whole. It's literally a world that you can go and you can start looking into micro expressions, body language, what happens when this happens, what happens when this happens.
Yeah.
We're mirroring each other a little bit. Like I pulled
Yeah,
my
we are
leg
a
up,
little
you pulled
bit.
your leg up. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I thought
Right?
I would be immune to your
Yeah.
trickery. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's rapport.
yeah, yeah. It's
Mhm.
probably like they probably use a lot of this shit in like the FBI and the
Oh, for
CIA and
sure.
stuff like
Yeah.
that, Um, so can we talk about the OnlyFans
Yeah, yeah.
story?
Ask away.
So
Ask
like
away.
where did that come into the mix? Because were you already doing these videos before?
No.
No,
No.
so this so
So
yeah,
back
to
in
tell me
I'll
about
give you
that.
the whole story. So
Yeah.
back in 2022, my buddy Diego, same guy, he interviewed me on the street.
He's like, Tristan, you've got to get on OnlyFans.
I'll tell you, it's actually a curveball. A lot of people don't expect this, but he asked me how much money would it take for you to suck a dick, and I was like, if she's trans and sexy, I'll do it for free. And then the trans community at this time, they just exalted me to the exact like I felt like Simba on Pride
No
Rock.
way.
It was an overflow of like, this guy is our hero. This is our guy right here. In 1 week, I went from 200 followers to 20,000 on Twitter in a 7-day period. I remember just sitting at my house, refreshing Twitter, like 11.1K, 11.2K, like just watching hundreds of people come in. And I was knocking doors at the time, and I was over knocking doors. I was just so done with like the stress and the grind and the cancellations and everything that comes with knocking doors. So a lot of people on Twitter are like, making OnlyFans, making OnlyFans. And I'm like, fuck it, I'll make it OnlyFans. And the first week I made like 7 grand. Well, I could have made way more if I understood the business behind it.
Yeah.
But I made like 12 grand my first month in OnlyFans. I was like, wow, we're doing this. And then I started doing OnlyFans.
But was that did the sexy trans woman come into the mix or not?
Yeah, yeah,
So
absolutely.
this all happened.
Yeah. This is that. I mean, they're not. The videos aren't up anymore because I wanted to give something better than pornography to the
Yeah,
world.
yeah.
Like I didn't. That's just. I felt like with my energy and the type of gift that I can give to the world, it's a lot better than me jacking off or me hooking up with a girl or a trans chick.
Yeah.
It was just like I smoked some weed in Thailand and I was like, I just can't do this anymore. Like this is not me anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, shortly before that, like maybe a few months before that, I had my buddy Philip Solo, who's a really big YouTuber. He was like, oh, I need to make some content ideas, and I was like, let's do a gangbang. Like let's just fuck this chick at the house, and we got what's it? Yeah, me, him, another guy named Jem, and this chick named Sapphire. Just filmed a YouTube video like where he flew her out from Canada to Mexico. We filmed a gangbang, put it on OnlyFans, and like, yeah.
What? How much you get for that kind of thing?
I think it was like $500 or something like that. Like he sent me a portion of the OnlyFans proceedings, and I was like, yeah, this is hey, I'll take this.
Oh my
I'll
god!
take this.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you've had a lot of life experiences.
Oh, I've had a slew of life experiences. Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. So so, so where to from here then Tristan? Are you
Mhm.
like what's your like because we did talk a little bit like when we're setting up about, products and you
Yeah.
said you've kind of started you tried the community thing a little bit. Like where to from this point?
It's really figuring out like what product. I've gotten a really good idea now of like what I can give to the audience that will serve their needs.
Mm.
But I haven't really monetized this audience to even a percentage of what the true capabilities are. So from this point, it's really just focusing on the monetization, focusing on how do we turn this attention into dollars. And then after that, I like my life a lot.
Yeah.
I like going to the gym. I like flirting with girls. I like where I live. I like what I do. Like I'm not.
You found your icky guy.
Yeah. Exactly. I like where I'm at. I really like. I like being in Bali. Like I'm hooking up with this really beautiful girl. I like the food that I eat. Like I don't need to change drastically.
Yeah.
So once this monetization wheel comes in, start buying some villas out here, turn that into semi-passive income, and then travel a little bit more and do the pickup
Mm.
videos like all over the world.
Yeah. Have you got help? Like, is someone helping you to monetize your channel?
Man, so no, right now because I tried a few different people and they all just shit the bed. Like
Yeah,
they
yeah, I've
all
seen
just
that.
like
Yeah.
I gave these guys the keys. multiple times, and it's just like,
There's
what
got
the
to be
fuck?
someone good out there for you. If anyone's listening, even
Yeah,
give a
right. If
shout
you made
out.
it to
Like,
this 42 minutes into the podcast, like
yeah,
help your boy out.
yeah. Like, if there's anyone good out there with what are you looking for? Someone to help you with strategy or
I have attention
yeah,
down. And now I know really clearly what it is that my audience wants. They want like their dream outcome, get girls. Go on dates, get a girlfriend or build a roster. Like those two things.
yeah.
They really want that. So what I've formulated now is like, how do you put on the clothes? How do you think? How do you go to the venue? Where do you go? What do you do when you approach? What do you say? How do you get the number? How do you text? How do you set up the date? How do you get to the date? Like it's
We could make something cool in Notion actually with all this
yeah.
stuff. Like maybe we could talk.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
could
yeah.
make something like like a black book or something like that.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Come on. With opportunity knocks, Rick's
Yeah.
answers.
Yeah, yeah, we can chat about that. I've been diving into that a little bit myself, but it's so wild because like it's almost like you hear about so many creators having these massive accounts and then they just have no idea how to monetize it, right?
Yeah,
It's
living
like
proof, yeah.
and then you see all these other creators with like almost like smaller accounts,
Mhm.
like a fraction of what you have, and then they're monetizing because and I think I mentioned to you this earlier, it's like I think those accounts they got to the products early on,
Yeah.
so you've like you have with your process, iterating on your process, iterating on your work, getting to
Mhm.
the point where you've done all these different things and you've developed all these skills, starting door knocking like to where you are now. You kind of need to do that with product.
Yeah,
So
start knocking on doors of products.
yeah, like early on, and then get feedback, iterate. Like your first products are always going to be pretty terrible. I would say for most people.
Yeah, I've helped students, like I've helped plenty of students, but
Yeah,
yeah, through group coaching, one-on-one coaching, in persons, I've helped a lot of people, quote unquote, a lot of people. But in comparison to what the whole grand picture of the pie is, man,
yeah,
we're touching crumbs. So
yeah, yeah. Interesting.
mhm.
Um, so then what about like because you're doing these live streams as well, and you were
Yeah,
talking about like you were talking about how you're kind of going through people's dating videos or pickup
yeah, yeah,
videos,
yeah.
and you're like kind of roasting them a little bit. Ha what do you do on those streams, and what kind of people are showing up to those?
The streams that I prefer to do is like where I'm actually just going outside and like talking to people.
So you're doing that live with the
You
Ray-Bans?
could do it with the Ray-Bans. I like having a selfie stick. Like
Oh, okay.
I enjoy kind of like that man of the show type energy
Okay, yeah.
where I walk around. I'm like, hey, you want to be part of a live stream? And like back when I was living in Mexico, before I had my girlfriend when I was out there, I would go around. I'd just like start making out with girls on the street live on Instagram. Like just wild. Like it's just wild. And it was a lot of fun. Like, of course, HPV enters the chat and fucking, cold sores or whatever. I've heard all the jokes, but that's what I really like to do. But there's not really too of a congested walking street
Yeah.
here in Canggu.
Well, you
Like
can't walk in Bali.
you can't walk in
I
Bali.
saw an article the other day that Indonesia has like Indonesians or Balinese, or it was Indonesians or Balinese, one or the other, but that walk the less out of any other country.
Oh yeah, because there's no
There's
sidewalks here.
nowhere to walk.
No, and that's one gripe that I have. Like,
Yeah, yeah, no, that's I get on the treadmill a bit, but I do miss the walking.
mhm.
Um, but what's the big vision for you, Tristan? Like, have you got like a big kind of dream, or you're
Yeah,
in the dream right now?
I'm
Do you
in the
have?
dream right now. It's like
Yeah,
like if you say vibrational frequency, we're at like lower mid
yeah,
range. I like being a personality. I like being on camera. I like doing stuff like this.
yeah.
I think I'm good at it.
You are very good at it.
Appreciate you. So continue to do this and just monetize it better. Like I'd be living the dream life if we were making the 50K, 100K a month. Like
Yeah.
we'll eventually get to that point. I'm 100% certain
Oh,
and
you
positive.
definitely will.
100% so, but like I just continue doing what I'm doing today. Call my dad, tell him I love him, go hang out with some cute girls, go walk around on the beach, go work out at the gym. Like I wouldn't change too much. Like just
Yeah.
put a couple more zeros behind my bank account and then
Would you stay in Bali, you think?
I would explore more. Like I like Bali right now, because it's just challenge. It's a personal development thing, but I would be all over. Like I want to go to South Africa, Barcelona, like where there's more of a walking culture,
Yeah.
like where I can do live streams walking on the street. South Korea. I have especially when I have a camera in my hand, I don't have fear of talking to people. I'll go up and be like, "Hey, you want to be in a live stream?" Or like, "Hey, you're really cute. What's your name?" So that for me, if we just start making 10x
Yeah,
what we're making
yeah.
right now, then we're solid,
Yeah, got
solid.
it. Yeah, well, I'm sure you're gonna get there. It's just
Speaking
gonna,
about it, it's gonna happen.
yeah,
So
it's gonna happen. Um, and what about, okay, there's so many angles I could take this,
sure.
but just you mentioned like the 17-year-old Tristan.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, did 17-year-old Tristan imagine that you'd be living this kind of lifestyle?
He hoped for it. I don't know if he imagined it, but
Like, we're talking about skateboarding, Tristan,
oh
skater
yeah, oh
Tristan.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Skater Tristan,
What
skinny
kind of
jean.
skater were you? Were you a park skater or you were a street
We didn't
skater?
have parks and where I was a flat ground skater, so
Okay,
we didn't have street skater.
street skating, yeah.
But we didn't have any parks growing up where I lived in my
Yeah.
immediate town. So a lot of kids would just skate flat ground and smoke weed and like
Okay.
just skate around town. It was a fun time. I wouldn't say it's a waste of time because I picked up a lot of like life lessons and
Yeah.
diligence.
Whereabouts?
This was Hemet, California.
Okay.
I was born and raised in the 951. I know there's gonna be somebody watching this from Southern California. Like Hemet, he's from Hemet.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. So Hemet, California. We didn't have a skate. We now have a really good skate park there, but that was only like a year
You
ago.
still skate?
I'll still get on the board.
Yeah.
Like I when I'm living in Mexico, I prefer to skate because walking, I just like I like walking cities, but I prefer to skate in walking
Yeah.
cities. But I left my skateboard on the bus, and then that shit just disappeared. Like, they're like, oh, we don't
Oh
know what
no.
happened to the.
We walk, we skate, but we don't get the bus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
No. So okay. So but like the 17-year-old you, like you pretty much like from the get-go, like you knew you wanted to do like entertainment
hmm
or like talking to people.
Yeah, I knew I
Like,
wanted to be a YouTuber. I wanted to make
okay.
money. I thought that was the
But
coolest thing
why, if that was the case, if that's the case, then why didn't you just start making YouTube?
because I didn't like editing. And, like, that was the biggest barrier to entry to me. Like, I'd say,
Okay.
like, "Oh, I'm gonna go knock doors, sell solar panels, make money so that I can fund the YouTube lifestyle." And
Okay.
then I get sick of knocking doors, selling solar panels, and be like, "I'm just gonna go to YouTube full time." And then it was, like, a constant cycle of, like, I need to make money so I could support this. I can't focus on
Yeah,
this.
I think a lot of people get stuck in that trap, don't they, of like not following their dream life
Mhm.
because they're stuck in this I'm not free, I don't have the money loop.
Mhm.
And then the longer they leave it, I guess, you end up with liabilities and mortgages and all this
And
kind of stuff and
kids,
kids,
yeah.
and it's really hard to get out of that cycle.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I think that's quite common.
I'm so happy I saw my friends in college make mistakes, like, get get with a girl and get a dog, and then they break up, and then they get stuck with this dog or have a kid, and it's, like, not the right person whatsoever. I watched them do that. It's like I didn't have my first relationship, like boyfriend, girlfriend, until last year as an adult. Like,
Oh
the
wow.
last time I was in a relationship when I was 17, outside of this last one that happened in Mexico. And I still fucked it up. So I can't even imagine some like 17-year-old Tristan trying to have a kid or something along the lines of that. Oh, hell no. Hell
Yeah.
no. That kid would be messed up mentally. So I'm
Yeah.
I'm thankful that I put the brakes on like heavy life commitments. Up like I still don't have I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have any pets, no mortgages, no I don't own a
You're
car. Like,
free. You're free.
yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Yeah. That's a dream. You
That's
are in
cool.
the dream, yeah. Wow. I mean, I'm much the same to be honest. So like I mean, obviously I'm in a very different stage to you with my building a following or building out the podcast or whatever, but
Right.
I'm definitely I've got a bit of experience with product design and it's a little bit of my background with design. But I think there's the beauty there of kind of like merging those things together, trying to
hmm
work out like how you, because everybody has their own unique special thing that they're good at. Like I've spoke to so many people in corporate, even like you over time you develop this skill set that's very specific, and then you
Right.
put your own personality and flavor on the top of it. It makes it completely unique.
hmm
So like your delivery of what you're sharing is not going to resonate with like everybody.
Absolutely not.
Whereas somebody else sharing the same message, they're going to get a completely different audience to you. Um, so I do like that's my whole thing is like trying to encourage these people to like find the steps to like get out of the job, get out of the where whatever's holding them back and to get to their purpose.
hmm
Like what do you like do you have any advice for any of those kinds of people? Like do you
Yeah, yeah. Find a process that puts you in a high vibrational sense. And like Wes Watson, one of my mentors, talks about it a lot. It's like if we keep trying to make solve problems from the same place that we created them, we're never going to get out. So we need to elevate to a higher mind state to really be able to get past of what it is that we're doing right now. And the way that you do that, physical exercise, reading books, journaling, meditation, these things will bring you to a higher plane, even if just momentarily, so that you can look down at the problems that you created at that same mental place and then be able to be making different decisions. Because it's
Yeah.
like if your house is on fire and you're trying to decide what it is that you're going to take without the house, you're screwed. Like the house is on fire. So it's much better to get outside of the house, think for a moment, get some clarity, and then go back into the house and then put the fire out.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's like that has definitely been a really big reflection for me this last year. Like I had a whole situation go where my whole life completely changed. You know, this is why I'm in Southeast Asia. And like there's a real temptation to build things up again like very quickly because you've lost, you know, your foundation.
Sure.
But and I've mentioned this a few times on this podcast, but it's like if you keep building from that same energy, you're just going to build exactly the same thing.
Exactly the same.
Yeah, so it's like it's such a lesson in exactly that, like the reflection of what's happening outside of you
Mm-hmm.
is exact. You know, people tell you that, and you're like, yeah, yeah, like that's okay, I get it. But then it happens to you, and you're watching it happen ever so slightly. The things that you put back in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been really focused, you know, this whole year on like really focusing on like what that future version is of me and like what habits, like what are they doing on the day to day?
Ooh,
You know, like are they, and then switching things out. Like in the morning, instead of like grabbing my phone, I've
big
got
one.
I've got my Kindle I'm reading Rick Rubin's book at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know Rick Rubin?
Rick Rubin. I've heard, what's the name of
Um,
the book?
he was from Def Jam.
Oh, I know Rick Rubin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rick Rubin, and he's just got this really great book. And it's a super easy read, and you can just flick through a couple of pages, but it's all about creativity and art and
Okay.
everything. I'll send it to you.
Perfect.
Um, but you know, that's one thing. It's like I'll read a few pages from that rather than go to my phone or like
Mm-hmm.
so like flipping out these little habits of trying to create that future version of myself.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean like in terms of
Sure.
vibration?
Yeah, Bob Proctor he talked about this. All that we really want to do in life is seek awareness. And you're aware that when you start your day with a few pages of a book, you're gonna have a much better day than starting with a few reels.
Oh
Eh,
yeah, heaps better.
yeah, right. It's
Yeah.
a compound effect, and it's how do you put it? Our years are broken up into months that are broken up into weeks that are broken up into days that are broken up into minutes and hours and just simple decisions like that. So it's like if you ask yourself, am I 51% good or am I 51% bad? And it's like that's the determining factor of the majority of your
Yeah.
day. We always want to be 51% good so that we can get to 55%, 57% upwards and upwards. But if we're 49% good, we're losing the majority of the battle right there. And that's where no progress is being made. You're kind of just reliving life through the same lens that it is that you created the problems from. It's like, man, I want to change. I want to, change my diet. I want to change my weight. I want to change, what it is that I think about. But you continue to do the same things, you're gonna get the same
Yeah, well
actions.
that's right. It's like it's almost like you need a goal, and like to me a goal is something very different to like okay, we do this thing and we check it off. It's like a goal is, I think people misperceive that about a goal
Hmm.
because a goal is actually it's a lens to see the world.
Yeah.
Actually when you really have a goal, because things start appearing based on the lens that you're viewing.
Yep.
You know what I
That's
mean?
beautiful.
Because like something you other people might not see the things that you're seeing because you have got this goal. So you'll see little messages or little things that pop in, an article will show up or like a person will show up.
Hmm.
Have you had experiences like this?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's even just this morning, I last night I was talking with my mastermind and one of the members was saying like, yeah, this really successful guy, he's doing his 90-minute Joe Dispenza meditations. And I'm like, dang, that's what I've been missing. Like all of the times in my life that were really monumental in change and changing who I am in the course of my life all revolved around me sitting down for, 70, I have a 70-minute meditation, sitting down for that whole 70 minutes. And even just today, at the end of the meditation, they say, ask the universe for something that is without a doubt a sign, but it'll come in a way that you least expect it. I went to go get breakfast with this girl that I'm dating right now, and they had a table with Chinese New Year little
Mm-hmm.
like packets on it. It said take a packet and read it.
Yeah.
And I opened up there was one that had a white snake. All the other ones were gold snakes. The only one that had a white snake, I took it, I opened it up, I sat down, I read it, and it's like, yeah, the universe is saying that you're on the right path. You've been dealing with frustrations, and that your diligence is going to push you to the other side. You were on the right path. Your spirit guides, blah blah blah. And I was like, well, there you go. That's the universe presenting it in a way that I could not have expected it. So
Yeah, that happens. Do you know where that happens to me a lot? It's quite funny, like you see the Balinese cruising around here and they always have these hoodies with like weird stuff written on the back.
sure.
And like the weirdest shit happens with those hoodies. Like I'll rock up to a light or something, or be stuck in traffic, and the exact message, like it just is someone right there with these
uh-huh.
hoodies on. I've got I try and like move my cradle so I can like take a photo of it. I've got a whole folder of them. They're hilarious. But yeah, it's true, right? So it's like I think is that some of the stuff that you teach at in your mastermind, or is it all dating stuff?
I focus like on my content. I'll talk about meditation. I'll talk about internal stuff, and I'll give the students the meditation.
Yeah.
But I really focus on day game, like sticking inside of
Yeah, okay. You just stick in the niche.
in the niche, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Because like there is all this other stuff that's involved in getting better at that,
sure,
and it's all it's really what you're really doing is personal development.
100%. I just
It's just packaged in a
and I get girls. Yeah,
yeah.
here's the candy. Here's the
Yeah.
candy coated medicine. Yeah,
Yeah. And like especially with like I've learned so much about like obviously this is a whole other world to me, like the hetero like dating world and
sure.
everything, and like where we hang out, at the gym there at Nirvana. Like I've been there for 8 months. And I have learned so much about how humanity works from that side of things, just from sitting and watching interactions,
Mm-hmm.
watching guys, watching girls, watching like how it all kind of unfolds.
Yep.
I didn't realize certain things about those dynamics, and like I didn't really realize that women as well were kind of like a status symbol as well for
Sure.
guys. I didn't realize that.
Mm-hmm.
So I've kind of like it's opened up this whole other world to me. And then you also realize that like if you're a guy, if you want to like you actually have to take care of yourself. Like you
Oh yeah,
actually like there's a I mean especially at that gym, people do
fantastic.
they look fantastic. Yeah, people are there looking after themselves. So, when you go out into the real world, like most people just aren't like that.
No, no, and a lot of guys will try and cheat, like, "Oh, I'm just gonna work on myself, build a business, and then I'll attract women." It's like, attraction comes when you charge your magnet. Like, attraction comes when there's something to be worth
Yeah,
being
yeah,
attracted to, and a lot of guys think that they'll just think that they're attractive, and then they'll think that it is, but the times that I find myself most magnetic and I attract the most is right after I do 200 push-ups or right after I do a long meditation.
yeah,
It's like these are the things that charge the magnet and make other people attracted to you. But if you don't do those things, you don't take care of yourself. It's the exact opposite. It's like if you don't brush your teeth, if you don't do simple things that prepare you to be in a conversation of reproduction, what do you expect the outcome to be? You didn't
yeah.
do the work.
Yeah, I remember you talking to those guys in that room that day at the Thrive,
Uh-huh.
and they were
Uh-huh.
asking you all sorts of shit. And you're like, "Would you fuck you?"
That's
Like
a great question.
take a look at yourself.
Would you fuck you? If the
Yeah.
answer is no, then we got some fucking work to do.
Yeah. So it's, in a roundabout way, what you're doing is personal or self-development. It's actually quite similar like talking about goals and growing as a
Mm-hmm.
person through the work, through the artistry. It's
It's
artistry,
artistry.
packaged in the niche of day
Day game.
day game.
Uh-huh.
Um so interesting.
Uh-huh.
But it's sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought there, but it's like there's a lot of people that are delivering this message with their different skill set. Like this is like
Absolutely.
Tony Robbins and maybe some of the mentors that you've mentioned
Mhm.
there. But this is a really nice little practical way that you found to actually get guys up and taking care of themselves through that little carrot there of you're going to be able to pick up chicks.
Yeah, and the thing is, if I didn't have the results, nobody would follow me. Nobody would listen to me.
Yeah.
Like if I was overweight and I wasn't getting girls, and try to say the same message, like the same videos,
Yeah.
what the fuck is this guy talking about? He doesn't have the results that I want, so the message doesn't hit the same. The reason why my videos do well and I have an audience is because I walk the walk and not only just talk the talk. And a
Yeah.
lot of people, I think, is like post Alex Hormozy, they just like saw the auto captions, they saw everything pop up in that, and they're like, I could be a coach too, and they just start spewing shit, and it's like, you have no results. You're reiterating the same message that the guy that has results is saying.
Yeah, people they love all the dudes love Alex Hormozy, don't they?
Oh, he's the best. Shout out
Yeah.
my boy Alex.
I love Alex Hormozy too. Like I think he's a legend, but like he has like this real cult bro following, doesn't he?
Oh yeah.
They love him. And he wears the same thing every day, and he's just
Simple
super
guy.
jacked.
Simple guy. He gets the job done. It's the boy.
Yeah, no, he's good. But on that note, Tristan, is there anything like you think would be worth sharing? Like anything that we haven't covered here?
I mean, we
Like
talked about OnlyFans. We talked about social media. We talked
yeah,
about timing. We talked about personal development, I think.
yeah. It's all good stuff.
Uh-huh.
I know there's probably like so many other threads we could pull, but I might wrap it up in a moment.
And we could do a round two.
Yeah. No problems. Well, I'm excited to see what you create here in Bali.
Mm-hmm.
Especially now as well, growing your team, and like we can talk a little bit more about products and things like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm pumped for you. It's like it's so cool starting a whole new life somewhere.
Yeah. I've done it a few times.
Yeah.
I've done it in San Diego, Las Vegas,
Yeah.
Mexico, and now here in Bali. So
Yeah, no, it's exciting. Where do people get involved in your programs or your
yeah, you can check my stories. That's always going to be up in my stories. Me
Yeah.
talking about like either my ebook you can get from my Instagram, or Virtual Wingman, the program where I help you go outside and talk to girls while I'm in your ear.
Were you pre the Hitch movie, or was the Hitch movie and then
I'm way post Hitch movie.
you're way
yeah.
post Hitch?
Yeah, Hitch.
When was Hitch come? When that
Hitch
come
was
out?
like early 2000s. I was like
Okay.
2006 ish.
How close is your
Very close.
very close?
Yeah,
You're like
and the idea of
you.
it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, that's cool. Because people fly you around for that shit, don't
Yeah.
they? People fly you to around.
I'm here in Bali because somebody flew me here.
to go out with them and
Mhm.
Is that an offering that you or some
Yep.
you have that on your website or something?
Yeah, it's just depending. It's for like people that have $10,000 to spend.
And you go out with them for a night and you just kind of wingman them.
Yeah, like I like to stay a week with people, like at least a week.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a $10,000 ticket right there. if you
Okay,
want me
that's
to hang
pretty
out.
cool.
Yeah,
What a great gig.
yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah. So you can just go on your stories, you can find your programs there.
Mm-hmm.
And you got anything coming up?
Yeah, Virtual Wingman, the program where like I'm in your ear talking to you, seeing what you see, helping you just go and talk to girls on the street. Like a lot of guys will spend a lot of time doing the meditations, doing the journalings, doing the workouts, when the real problem is that they can't talk to girls. And the only way that you can get better at talking to girls is by
You got to get your reps in.
you gotta go talk to girls.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
There's no way around it. Is
It's
there?
literally there is zero way around it. If you want to get the social skills, you got to be social,
A lot of people probably petrified of that.
and that's why I have a
Yeah,
job.
that's why you gotta do it.
That's why I got an audience. Yeah.
Well, the Hermosi says that too, right? Relationships. What does it say? Health, wealth, and relationships.
Those three things are evergreen.
Yeah, and you're kind of covering pretty much. Oh,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm relationships inside of like go meet people outside
Yeah.
during the daytime.
yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so you can jump on the Wingman. When does that start?
That's gonna be dropping. What's today? Thursday. Yeah, yeah. So it'll be out this weekend.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
we're gonna start promoting it this weekend. So by the time this podcast is out,
It'll be out.
it'll be out.
Is it evergreen?
Yeah. So it's gonna be you got video course, you got done with you, and then done for you. Heavily done for you, not 100%. I can't do the talking for you, but what the idea is like you and I we set a time. I'm gonna hop on a call with you, FaceTime call. You're outside at the mall. You're gonna put your back camera out. You're gonna be walking around kind of like you're on a FaceTime call with me. I'm gonna tell you exactly what to say to the girl. your tonality, your
What
pacing.
with their phone there?
Yeah, yeah. Like it's gonna be like, oh hey, like walking around pretending to be on a FaceTime call, like talking to me, and then I could
Oh,
see.
you can see the oh, and so you just put the phone down and then they're on the ear
Hmm.
and they're like, "Oh yeah, cool."
Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah. You can't bitch out that way. Like it's like the biggest thing is like, oh, I don't want to. I'm nervous. I'm scared. It's like if I'm screaming at you, go talk to her right now. Go, go.
Yeah.
It's really hard to be scared of me screaming in your ear. So
Wow, that's cool. Okay, so that's happening. So we'll put that all. I'll get the
yeah,
links with you and everything. But that's about it. I think that's a wrap. It was great chatting with you. Thanks for
the
having
pleasure was
me,
mine. Yeah.
and I look forward to chatting with you soon and seeing what happens in Canggu and Bali for you.
Yeah, we're here. We're
Yeah.
here. This is home now.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to another episode of Design on Purpose. If you don't already, like and subscribe to the channel. And go and head over to Tristan's profile. You probably already follow him. He's got 1 million
Uh huh.
followers. And we'll see you next week.
Good talk.